Hello everybody, it's Anna and we are on my channel Deutsch Up, and today I really would love to talk with you about Goethe Certifikat Niveaustufe B1. So let's go! When we would like to talk about my experience with the Goethe Certifikat B1, I can say that I was passing it maybe a year ago, so that's why I don't remember it very precisely, but some general statements I really would love to tell you. So here you can see my Goethe Certificate. Yeah, it looks like this. The paper is very hard, and basically everything you can see here I was talking in the video about Goethe Certifikat B2, and as you can see that's Goethe Certifikat B2, but they don't really differ somehow. So you can see here the name of the person who was passing it, date of birth, place where you were passing this exam, and also your place of birth, yeah, Geburtsort. And on the other line you can see your results. So Goethe Certifikat B1 has also 4 different parts, and you can see here the results of every of them. From another part you can see here some basic statements and also the measurement table, which can say you if you passed or not. So our minimum is 60 points, and this sounds like ausreichend. That means that you passed, that the level that you reach is more than enough. The next one, from 70 till 79, it's befriedigend, it's better than enough. So you know the German language on the level more than enough. From 80 till 89, it's gut, so it's even better. And from 90 till 100, where 100 is the maximum of points, it's sehr gut, so very well, and you know this level very good, and I have no clue what you are doing on this level. You should go to B2. As I said before, Goethe Certifikat B1 consists of 4 different parts, and they don't differ from Goethe Certifikat B2. So basically you are passing reading, listening, writing and talking. So first of all, let's talk about reading, lesen. This part consists of 5 different parts, and right now we are going to talk about each of them. At the first part, you should read the text, and to this text you have 6 different questions, and you should answer with true or false, oder richtig oder falsch. For this task you have 10 minutes, and my personal advice to you will be to be prepared to meet a lot of passive grammatic in this task. For the second task you have 2 different texts. They are relatively smaller, but they are a bit different because they have very specific vocabulary. For example, about nature or job or maybe some kind of technique. At this task, to each text you have 3 different questions, and this task is multitasking, so you have 3 different options of your answer, A, B and C, and you should choose the right one. The third task is also not easy. You have only 10 minutes for this task, and you're reading 10 different advertisements. And for this task you have 7 different people who are looking for some different type of activities, and you should match which advertisement will be useful for some specific person. For this task you should also be aware that not always every answer passes. Sometimes there is no answer, and in this case you should just put 0. At this task you have 7 different people who share their own personal opinions about one specific situation. For this situation we will take the example about video games which can be harmful for children, and those people are sharing their opinions about is it good to forbid them or not. At this task you should answer yes or no to each person. Also ist die Person dafür oder dagegen. It's also very important to emphasize here that those people don't talk with you directly. They will never say openly, yes, I'm for this, or no, I think that's a bad idea. They will be talking somehow different, and you should to figure out by yourself, are they okay with this idea or not? And the fifth task is about the text again. You have a text and 10 minutes to answer to all of the questions. You're reading this text and answers the multitasking, so A, B, or C. It's also important here to emphasize that sometimes it's not enough time to read the whole text and then read all of the questions. There are 4 of them. Also read all of the tasks to them, A, B, C, and then read the text again to look for the answer. That's why I would recommend you, just in the second when you opened your text, read the first question and then read the text. Find out the answer and then read the second question. The questions have always the same order as the topics in the article, so it will be very hard for you not to notice it. The next part I would like to talk with you about is listening, also hören. At this part, you have 4 different tasks. The first task is about dialogues. There are 5 different dialogues about completely different topics, and to each track you have 2 questions. One question is true or false, also richtig oder falsch, and another one is multitasking, so ABC. You're able to hear them 2 times, so don't worry if you miss something. You have time to finish it. Also, for this task, you have 10 seconds to read the questions before. For the second part here, they almost never give a dialogue. Basically, you will hear some person who is reading the news, or maybe some story about the city, or also something about weather. There will be a person who will be telling the story for you, and you should to answer 5 questions with multitasking, so ABC. You are able to hear the story only once, so be well prepared and good luck. For the third task here, you will be listening to the dialogue. This dialogue you will also hear only once, and you should answer with true or false, richtig oder falsch. And the last task is also the conversation, but it's not a dialogue, it's a conversation between 3 people. Mostly they are making it as a conversation on the radio. You should to listen to this dialogue and also match the opinions of people with the names, who is saying what. You are able to hear this 2 times, so don't panic. So the next part is writing, Schreiben. Here you will have only 3 tasks. And the first one is to write an informal letter to your friend about some specific situation. It can be a birthday party, it can be your vacation, it can be your new hobby, it can be everything. Just let Goethe Institute to surprise you. To this task, 3 or 4 different statements will be given, which you should to include in your letter. You should to write at least 80 words. And please don't forget about greetings form and your goodbye. The second task is about your opinion. Basically, you are reading the story in the internet about one specific topic, and you should to write an answer, your personal opinion. What do you think about this situation? For this task, you should also write at least 80 words. And my personal advice here will be to avoid our favorite meiner Meinung nach. So like, it's my opinion, I think like this. Because it seems to me almost every student will use exactly this phrase. And it's very important to somehow surprise the person who will be checking your article. That's why just think about something else. For example, you can write meinerseits. So it's like by my side. I think it by my side. Or use, for example, Ich stehe auf dem Standpunkt. So it's mostly also I am with this opinion, but somehow you're saying this in other words, and it will be interesting, it will be different, so the person will notice that you know more than just meiner Meinung nach. Don't forget that this exam is made exactly for you to show all of your language knowledge. Okay, the last but not least, the third task is about to write a formal letter, for example, to your boss. It can have different situations. For example, you missed a very important meeting, or you didn't come to the work today, and basically you should just like write down why you didn't appear on your working place. For this task, it's very important to use a Höflichkeitsform, also sitzen, and my personal advice for you will be, instead, when you are saying goodbye, instead writing mit freundlichen Grüßen, you can write hochachtungsvoll. It will be more interesting and something new. For this task, you should write at least 40 words. And the last task I would like to talk with you about is Sprechen. For this part, you have only 2 tasks. It's kind of like 3 of them, but somehow they are connected to each other very close. So the first task is a dialogue with your partner. You have a specific topic which you should to discuss. For example, there is a birthday party for your friend, and you should to discuss when you are going to do it, how you're going to do it, when, where, how many people you want to invite, and what are you going to give. For this task, it's very important to be aware that it doesn't matter how well prepared you are, because it's a dialogue, it's a game for 2 people. And if your partner is not well prepared, it may cause some problems. So that's why you should also know and prepare yourself that you will be the one who will start the conversation and ask the questions. So basically, you should start the conversation and say, hello, Christina, yeah? We have a birthday party and we have to discuss some topics. Let's do it together. And then the person is trying to somehow interact with you. And then when the person has some difficulties, you can also ask another question. For example, I am really curious where we are going to do it. Do you have any ideas? Yeah, and it's very important to talk about this, of course, in German. Very soon I will make a new video which is dedicated only for this part of the exam, only about Sprechen. Which kind of phrases you can use, when and how you should to talk, and of course we will talk more about these different types of partner. So I really hope that you will stay with me on my channel till this time. And the second task is your personal speech. Auf Deutsch, der Vortrag. On this page you can see an example for different tasks which you are going to discuss. And there are also some rules how you should do this. First of all, you should shortly describe what you are going to talk about, and only after this to talk about every topic more specific. Don't forget to underline your pro and contra. And what is very important, don't forget to thank other people for listening, and also say that you would love to answer all the questions, because the third task is exactly about the question. The third task you are doing right after your speech. You give a comment to your partner about his speech, and also you should ask him or her a question about his or her specific topic. So just once you heard the topic of your partner, think about the question. It would be very nice if the question will be somehow unique and interesting. Another advice which I would love to give to you here is also to prepare before the comment. Don't say that it was interesting, das war interessant, danke. It will be very boring. That's why you should think of something different and more interesting. That's why the person who is checking your language skills will be more interested. You can pay attention, for example, to the phrases which your opponent used, or say that you are speechless after this kind of very good presentation. So just think of this comment and learn it before going to the exam, and keep it in mind till your partner is finished with his presentation. What is also very important in this case is to be aware that before the actual part, you should also introduce yourself. And of course, this part doesn't have any rules, but according to this part, the person who is checking your language skills will be already aware how good or bad your language level is. That's why I also would love to recommend you to prepare before the small speech just for 1 minute about who are you, where you're from, how old are you, maybe what are your hobbies or where do you work, and also why do you need this certificate. I don't know about other people, but personally I got this question very often. Okay, so for today that's all. I really hope this video was interesting for you, and just keep waiting for the next video where I will talk about Sprechen Teil more precisely, and we will discuss everything together with the examples. I wish you to have a nice day and see you very soon on my channel. Bye!